Okay, so here we go. So we're reading the second installment today of Tomer Devorah, and we're reading this in order to draw down Rachamim for Binyamin Yisroel ben Chanita. And we understand that by our emulation of Hashem's attributes, we pull down and encourage Hashem to pour down bracha into the world. And by our Rachamim, we encourage Hashem to be even more Rahmanistic in the world. So we started yesterday by saying that Tomer Devorah is drawn from a pasuk or a few psukim in Micha. And the full pasuk is Mikel kamocha nosei avon ve'over al pesha l'sherid nachlato lo hechazik la'ara po ki chafetz chesed hu. Who is like you, O God, who bears sin and overlooks iniquity to the remnant of his inheritance, and he withholds his anger, and he desires loving kindness. Yashuv yirachamenu yichvosh avanotenu. When a person does tshuva, he is incredibly rahmanistic with us, and he covers over their sins, suppresses their sins. The tashlich min sulot yam kol chatotam, and he will throw their sins into the depths of the sea. Titein emet liYakov, chesed la'Avraham, asher nishbats le'avotenu mimei kedem, and give truth to Jacob and loving kindness to Avraham that you swore to your fathers from the days of old. Now I only read this, and I read it quickly just to show you that from here is where we're pulling out the attributes we're now going to start to focus on, even though when we read those psukim, we don't look at them and go, oh yeah, 13 attributes, I get it. Okay, so the first one we're starting with, Mida Aleph, it's Mikel Kamocha. Who is like you, O God? It's like we're kind of amazed at some behavior that Hashem is displaying, and we're about to find out what it is. So Mikel Kamocha More al Heyot Kadosh Baruch Hu Melech Ne'elav. Who is like you, O God? This attribute shows on the way the Holy One, blessed be He, is a king, a master of enduring disgrace. Sovel elbon. He withstands, he tolerates, he endures insult. Mashelo yachilehu rayon, which to the extent of which we cannot fathom. It's unbelievable how Hashem does this. And he begins to explain. Behold, we know there's nothing hidden from Hashem's watchful gaze, without a doubt. Ve'od, and further, Ein rega shelo yihiyeh ha'adam nizon umitkayem mikoach elyon hashofea alav. And furthermore, there isn't an instant where a person is not constantly being nourished and sustained by the supernal power that flows over him. God is sending down this constant life flow into man every single second. There isn't a second where that's not happening. V'harei timtza sheme'olam lo chata adam negdo shelo yiyahu ba'oto harega mamash shofei hashefa kiyumo u'tnuat avirav. So if you look, you'll see that never was there a situation where a person sinned, God forbid, against God, and at that same instant, he wasn't also receiving this unbelievable flow of life force to sustain him and keep him alive and to move his limbs. And when a person sins with that, he's sinning with that energy, the very energy that Hashem is giving him to sustain him. He's using that negdo, against Hashem. Lo mina'o mimenu klal, and at the same time, God does not withhold anything from him. Ela sovel hakadosh baruch hu elbon kazeh, but God tolerates such an intense insult. God has given this person everything. And what does this person do with that everything? He turns around and insults Hashem, disgraces Hashem, sins against Hashem, denies Hashem's existence, says, forget it, God doesn't exist, with the very life force that God put in him. God is enduring this insult, and at the same time, he's filling this person with life force and the ability to move his limbs. And at that very instant, that person is using that koach, that power, that energy he's getting from Hashem to sin to be iniquitous, to be provocative, to provoke HaShem, to anger HaShem, to try to anger HaShem. The Kadosh Baruch Hu soveil, and God just tolerates it. He endures it. He doesn't argue back. He doesn't lash out at him. He doesn't, send a thunderbolt down and destroy his life. He doesn't do that. And don't say, when you look at such a situation, maybe it's because God doesn't have it within his power to do so. He set things up and things have to flow this way, so he can't withhold it. No, of course that's not true. Chas v'chalila, sheharei b'kocho, b'rega k'meimrei liyabesha davar eglav. God, of course, has it within his power any second to paralyze a person's limbs if he wanted to stop him from doing something that is insulting to God. Like he did once to Yerovam. Yerovam was a terrible, terrible, terrible king of the northern kingdom who set up 2 other temples, outside of Yerushalayim, because he didn't want people going to Yerushalayim, God forbid, and worshiping in the temple in the real Beis Hamikdash, and he even set up like egels for them to worship. So in that case, God did paralyze his limbs at a certain point. And so we know that God is certainly capable of doing that. Of course, even without that example, we would know that God is capable of doing that. And even though God has it within his ability to withhold this life flow from a person. And he could say, if he wanted to, you know what? Since you're sinning against me, you know what? Why don't you do it with your own energy and not with the energy that I'm giving you? I'm thinking of parents who say, okay, you want to do that? I'm really against it. You do it with your own money, right? I'm not gonna give you the money to pay for that, right? God is saying, he could say to him, if you're going to sin, do it with your own power, which of course the person has no power outside of God's own power. But he doesn't do this. He doesn't withhold the goodness from this person and cause that person to himself have to endure insult. He continues to influence him to throw down all this goodness onto him and empower his life, enliven his being, and do good for him. This is like insult, enduring and withstanding this kind of insult in a way that defies description. It's so intense that God allows this to happen. He empowers us to even turn around and say to him, I don't believe in you. And not only I don't believe, I deny your existence. Not only I deny your existence, I'm going to encourage others to deny your existence. And this is why the ministering angels call the Holy One, blessed be he, the king who endures disgrace, or a master of enduring disgrace. Now, of course, we're focusing on this attribute. Why? Not only to put us in awe of HaShem, but to learn from this, this is how we're supposed to act. Kemוך. So this is what we mean when we say, who is like you, God? You are such a giver of chesed, of loving kindness and of doing goodness. You could, of course, you have within you the power to take revenge and to gather in that which is yours, right? Let's take that soul back. Okay, you're not going to do good things with it? I'm bringing it home. But that's not what he does. Even with all of this, nonetheless, God is willing to withstand and does withstand the insult, the disgrace, until a person will do tshuva, will return in tshuva. In other words, why is he not acting? Why is he not stopping this person? He's giving this person the arena, a big white space to come on his own to do tshuva. And that moment is worth everything. That moment is worth all the insult in the world to HaShem. But what is the message to us from all this? This is an attribute that a person must learn to, must try to be able to withstand this, to act like this. I'm sorry, to emulate this. Ritzoni, of his own free will, we have to decide that this is how we're going to try to behave. Hasavlanu, we're going to be tolerant also, even of insults, even of humiliation, even when a person actually harms us. Instead of turning aside and saying, oh yeah, well you did that, you know what I'm going to do to you? Or whatever, no, I'm going to still, we have to, even if we're insulted to such a high level, even with all this, we shouldn't withhold or take back the goodness that we have done and will continue to do for this person. Even when a person, you're going out of your way to do good for somebody, and that person takes that good and turns it against you. Even God forbid, when a person finds oneself in that situation, which is so painful, it's so hurtful, and it's somebody you love and care about. He's saying, nonetheless, you need to withstand the insult, and not only withstand the insult, don't respond in anger, and don't say, oh yeah, well, I'm going to take back everything that I gave you, and let's see how you do now. No, you should still continue to seek good on behalf of that person and do good on behalf of that person. This sounds like a gavaldic meter, like it's almost sounds like it's outside of our human range. How could we possibly do that? But since we are powered by HaShem and we are tzelem Elokim and Chelek Elokai Mimal, we know that HaShem has put in us, given us that power to be like him. It is possible to set our sights even that high and try our best to emulate that. Okay, that's it for today on the learning side.
Thank you. Jody, can I just say Psalm
yes,
20?
please.
Just 20 and then we'll stop. Okay.
Okay.
Lamnatzea Mizmor David.
Wants to join, but she doesn't.
Yanecha Adonai B'Yom Sarai Yisagevacha Shem Elohei Yaakov Yishlach Ezraha Mikodesh Umitzion Yisadeha Yizkor Kol Minhosacha V'Olasacha Yadashne Salah Yitain Lecha Kilvavecha V'Kol Atzasacha Yimalei Ranana B'Yeshuasacha U'B'Shem Eloheinu Nidgal Yimalei Adonai Kol Mishalosacha Ata Yadati Ki Hoshia Adonai Mishiho Yahanehu Mishmei Hadsho Bigboros Yesha Yimino Elei Berecha Ve'Elei Vasasi V'Anachnu B'Shem Adonai Eloheinu Nazkir Heima Kara'u V'Nifalu Ve'Anachnu Kamnu Benito Dad Adonai Hoshia Hamelcha Yinenu V'Yam Karenu.
Amen.
Okay, so now I want to
Wait, I'm sorry. Could I just interrupt for a minute? Leah Cox just called and said she wanted to join and didn't have the information.
Oh, okay, but it's over. So tomorrow. I'll call her.
Yeah. So maybe, yeah, I don't know how to give it for her.
if she wants to hear the Tehillim same, just tell her to go on to it's on the Binyamin site. It's on the Tefillah WhatsApp, the Tehillim WhatsApp. She just has to click on that.
So Jody,
So-
I'll say 119 myself.
Yeah.
I need to go. I'll say
Okay.
119 for everyone, okay?
So are you saying I shouldn't lead people in 119?
No.
Okay.
I'll say it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank
So-
you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care,
Thank you.
Carol. Thank you,
Okay.
Jody.
Thank
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be well, everyone. I mean, if you want to
Yes.
say 20 and 119 on your own in Binyamin's name with the letters of his name, obviously feel free, but she said she's going to say it with that in mind. Okay. So
Okay.
everybody, see
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Tomorrow's Friday, right? So I'm not sure that I'll be able to do it on Friday because obviously this hour is already Shabbos for me in Yerushalayim. But we'll see. And I need to find out if I can record on Shabbos when it's not Shabbos for me, when I'm already out of Shabbos, but it's Shabbos for you, and send it to the WhatsApp. I don't know. I have to find out. But
Okay.
watch the chat for information. Okay, see you. Thank you all for participating.
Okay. Bye, Jody.
Thank you, Jody.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Bye.